Mate,
No, absolutely not. It's still on the run. I am here with GVR.
How are we doing?
Who you may have seen on the channel already. In fact, we touched on this car, the lovely 280 W108. Can you believe it was 2 years ago now?
I can't believe that.
So that's a long time you've had this car. How many miles have you done since?
Probably 500, 600.
So it is used.
Yeah, it's used.
Yeah.
But sunny days,
Yeah. Of course.
weekends,
Yeah.
but as often as I can. But you're driving it not to go anywhere, just as it's used to drive it.
Yeah.
And to petrol stations, obviously.
So what's happened to it in the 2 years? Anything you've done to it?
I have to say I've been particularly lazy.
Okay. It's all right. You've owned it.
Yeah, it's been driven and then put back in the garage.
Okay, you don't see many of these around. 918 Spyder, successor to the GT, and yeah, hybrid, precursor to what supposedly will be the Mission X as well, if that sees the light of day. LHD only, of course. Very nice. Anything broken?
I
These things break, they're old.
managed to snap the release cable for the bonnet.
Raw strength.
Raw string. I think it's just overuse.
Yeah,
It gets
okay.
put on charge every time it's not being used.
Yeah.
And also just stiff, just hasn't been lubed properly. So it's managed to snap the handle off that. But that was a nice little bodge fix with a grub screw.
Oh, nice.
Put it back into working order.
Because an original part would probably be what, £3,000-4,000?
Yeah, I think
At least.
yeah, it's got to replace it right away through. The whole mechanism comes as one thing. So
Right, we've got a TR6 here, and all is not as it seems, because if I'm correct, this is being converted into an EV. Excellent. So here with Dan, proud owner of the TR6, or is this just an example car of yours?
So this is just a bit of a demo for our business, actually.
Right,
so,
okay.
I own and founded a company called Peterson Electric Vehicles.
Okay.
So we do kind of dashboard instrumentation for all the EV conversions, resto mods,
Right.
anything that's got a modern electronic system in it and old dials. We essentially get all that working. So.
I guess the key thing here is you're probably seeing a lot of demand now from people looking to convert previous wonderful cars of a bygone era into EVs now, because A, for reliability, and B, for fun.
There's loads of pros to it. Some people are very anti doing it because they think they're ruining the car, modifying the car. Yeah. But really, that car can go back to standard within a matter of weeks. It's nothing's cut, nothing's altered. Everything's using the original mounts because you have to by law with the DVLA. So yeah, it's just a very different driving style, just quite unique, really.
And an Amira there, of course. The i4 version of that's just come out as well. So this is a V6, obviously, as most of them are.
So that's not happening.
Yeah. Okay.
I've managed to get a grease gun and grease some nipples, which is always fun for hilarity factor, greasing a nipple or two.
But apart from that, it's been good as gold, it sounds like.
Yeah, no, it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? It's puts a smile on the face.
Okay, we've got Roy here with this rather lovely, I'm told, lime yellow XL. How long have you had it, Roy?
About 10 years, just under 10 years.
Okay, fantastic. And why did you get it?
I've got a Lotus Europa, which I had the original one when I was a kid in my 20s and loved it. Bought that, and then I got grandchildren. And
Excellent.
I thought, I need something with extra seats. And this has got 4 seats.
It does, yeah.
So I thought it'd be ideal to take the grandchildren out.
Yeah, one of my favourite cars right here, of course, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 6. And that's because I used to own one in blue, this one in white. Absolutely lovely. I've been speaking with the owner. It's had quite a bit done to it. So if we take a look under the hood and see what's going on here. This one from 1998. Of course, these things are always very heavily tuned, and why not? Because they are very good fun. So under the hood here, I mean, just check out the size of that air filter, right? This air intake path. It's had a twin scroll turbo fitted down there as well. And I understand it's good for about 600 brake horsepower, right? Which is, yeah, gonna move some. But awesome, and really good to see one of these in the flesh, because these things are definitely on the way up in terms of value. Absolutely stunning car. Yeah. So you're going to keep this for forever?
Yeah, I'll keep it. As long as I can, as long as I can drive it and maintain it.
Excellent.
But no, as long as you've got to drive these poo. You've got to drive them. You can't leave them locked up. You
do. You're right. They just
deteriorate otherwise.
They do, don't they? They like to be used. Of course, with the Rover SD1 lights upside down there. Roy, absolute pleasure. Really appreciate it. Lovely car. Look after it.
Thank you very much indeed.
Take care. You hardly ever see any V12 R230s, and then you see, of course, two in one day. This is an SL65 V12, absolutely lovely bit of kit here, and it looks like it's been quite heavily tweaked and modded. Little clue there on the Instagram handle, but very good to see one of these. And this shape of car, this marker car, definitely appreciating. SL55, of course, the one down from this, but very nice indeed, lovely. And here it is, the second V12 R230 of the day. You hardly ever see the V12s in two in one day. This one, the SL600, not the SL65, and it's for sale for 28,000. So I reckon a bit of a bargain on this one, but really, really well sought after, these things. And I think definitely on the up in terms of value. Lovely. And the process for converting an old car into an EV, you think you mentioned earlier sort of 6 months or so to kind of get this one to where it is now, or is it more or less?
This one started kind of 3 years ago when I was looking to change what I was doing in life. So I kind of built this in my own garage over a period of 6 months. If you're having it converted by a company, then timescales can be quite different to that, depending on what level of conversion you go in for.
Okay.
But this was done at home in my garage, and that kind of started our business really when people saw some of the dials and instrumentation we've done, and then kicked all that off, and then hey presto, loads of demand for.
I have an old car myself, Renault 5 GT Turbo. So I guess with an old car like that, reliability doesn't sit at the forefront of how it operates, right? It tends to kind of hang back, and
even when it was new with a Renault 5.
Exactly the point. Obviously, when you convert a car like this to EV, the reliability is pretty much guaranteed, right? It goes whenever you want it to.
As long as you keep the 12-volt battery topped up, that's the one thing that stops them from starting.
Well, it's funny you say that. The same thing on the Taycan. It also has a 12-volt battery. If that goes, and that's a 100k plus car, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And a lovely 355 here, one of my favourite Ferraris, precursor to the 360 Modena, of course. Very nice. Really good condition on this one. Lovely. Okay, Dan, so obviously no engine here, so talk me through what this all means.
Okay, so we've got it's quite a basic system really. So where the original gearbox was, we've now got our new AC motor. So that's brand new from the States. So that couples onto the back of the original overdrive.
Okay.
So we still have like a little 2-speed gearbox.
Oh, right.
So we can flick it in and out of overdrive.
Okay.
So we're direct drives, there's no gears. So you've got motor controller, you've got things like your booster pump for your vacuum brakes and the rest of it, because when you get rid of the engine you've got the vacuum brakes and stuff like that. And then the main big lump in the front is some Tesla P100D packs. People are generally demanding new batteries rather than used batteries, but these were 18,000 miles old from a 2018 car, and they've been great. Everyone always comments about the weight.
That's exactly my next question, So that versus an engine, what are we looking at?
60 kilos lighter now.
Right.
So we put it on the weigh bridge before we took it apart, and we weighed it afterwards. So there's a little bit less weight over the front wheels. So it actually handles a lot better than it did, because that original Triumph 2.5 litre iron block was incredibly heavy.
Motor we've got down there, right?
Yeah.
We can just see that. So how does that equate to performance from the original?
So that's roughly kind of about 100 kilowatts.
Yeah, okay.
So the original engine here was 125 horsepower, but you don't really, when you convert an EV, it's not about the horsepower, it's about the torque.
Right, yeah.
So I think usually roughly there's, if you kind of said, if you have you need 2/3 of the motor than the original engine brake horsepower.
Right.
So it's more performance than the original car had. but it's very linear. It's
it is linear. Yeah,
no gears.
Instant torque, all the torque from 0 RPM, right? That's the beauty of an electric motor, for sure. Oh, brilliant. So let's look around at the dials then, right? Because these are slightly different. And this is the key one here, right? Where I can see kW for some form of electricity, I guess, right? Kilowatts.
Exactly. So if we can turn it on, and I'll show you what they do with the. So when you convert a car, most of the original instrumentation doesn't work.
Right.
So all the original dials are either cable driven.
They are.
You've now got a modern battery management system. Modern motor system doesn't work with the original dials.
Right.
So what we did when we converted this car was we created an electronics module that will drive all those original dials. But we've now moved much into customization of dials. So all these are fully reprinted, refurbished. These are actually brand new, completely manufactured from scratch dials. But now we show kilowatts, so we're showing positive power and then regen braking.
Right now not using anything really because we're not moving?
No, we're not using anything. So we've got state of charge, which used to be your original fuel gauge. We've got your motor temperature. We've got the battery temperature, which is important to keep an eye on. And then the original 12-volt system. Because as you said, the one thing that stops them is the 12-volt battery.
Yeah.
So actually that's more important in this to keep an eye on than it is in a petrol car. Because it's the one thing that will stop it from working.
Fantastic. Good. All right, Dan, appreciate your time. It looks like a great conversion.
Cheers.
Many happy miles in it.
Thanks very much.
Do you think it's gone up in value?
Well, I think since your YouTube channel, I think it's now worth in the sort of 150,000 pound mark because of the popularity of you.
Okay. So if you want to put an offer in, don't go that high. It's not worth that.
I'll take 100 for cash.
Probably on the way up though, in all seriousness, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, that's right.
A bit of fun.
Cool.
Bit of fun to be had.
Appreciate it, GVR. Do enjoy it.
Thank you.
Nice. So that is it for this one. Big thanks to everybody who contributed on camera, such as GVR and everyone else. Really appreciate it. Great session. See you on the next one. Bye for now.